What's up everyone, John from ARTV. It's time to talk about an album by As It Is, a pop punk and alternative group from the UK that you guys have been talking up non-stop. Did it live up to the hype? We'll get to that in just a second. This album is called Never Happy Ever After. Patty Walters, lead vocalist. Kind of stands out to me, honestly. A couple of songs I heard right off the bat, Dial Tones and then Cheap Shots and Setbacks. A couple of the singles right there. Dial Tones actually impressed me, and that's what made me want to check out more of their material. The track seems to strike a good balance between a melodic chorus and then some harder moments. The instrumental gets a little bit more intense, the drums start to pound and that sort of thing, and it makes Dial Tones a pretty memorable track. And I thought, hey, maybe this could be something that I'm getting into. You know, people complain that I don't get into enough pop punk these days. Well, unfortunately, there's a reason for that. A lot of this album is so lackluster. It just absolutely hurts. I say it all the time, but being forgettable is almost worse than just being straight up terrible, because being forgettable means I'll probably forget that you put out an album in 2015. Now hold your horses, I didn't hate everything on this album, and I'm gonna get to my criticisms of it and talk about some of the tracks individually, so let's all cool our jets. We're all good. We're reeling it in. We're having a therapeutic session here. Let's chat. There's a reason some of these tracks just don't work. They follow a certain formula. It starts right off the bat with Speak Soft and Cheap Shots and Setbacks. They get into this lyrical mode of being like, I have to be a little bit angsty and I have to relate to the audience in a certain way. And the instrumentals that they're playing here, the guitar work, the drums, while they do show promise, like they could have something more there, it's just that I feel like they hold back and opt for a more safe zone to stay in throughout this entire record. Drowning Deep in Doubt, there's a track that kind of shows once again that the band have a fire lit inside of them and they do have that creative spark that they really need to unleash their full potential. Patty Walters, like I said, talented guy. I feel like his vocals do stand out to me, especially whenever he really puts himself out there right off the bat. Speak Soft, I thought he sounded a little bit like Patrick Stump from Fall Out Boy, but maybe that's just me. He comes into his own and makes himself a unique voice in the pop punk scene, and that's something to be said. A lot of guys I feel like these days just opt for being a little bit more whiny and a little bit more sad, and he actually has a distinct and kind of commanding voice when he wants it to be. But then he kind of falls back into that bland territory that I was just talking about. My Oceans Were Lakes was one of those tracks, and my god, this is a prime example of when pop punk is just trying to be so hard to just be pop punk and like emo and very, I don't know, relatable. It kind of tries to tug at the old heartstrings, and it just has me sitting there thinking like, maybe I would be into this if I was a lot younger, but still at the same time, I remember what I liked at that age in my teenage years, and I just couldn't really see myself connecting with it. Can't Save Myself is another one of those, and while I do like that one a tad bit more, along with that closing track that's much more soft and acoustic-led, You, The Room, and The Devil on Your Shoulder, nah, are they moving me in any way? Not particularly, especially that closing track. I feel like it could have done a lot more. The lyrical content, I think they did have some good ideas there, but they didn't really fully flesh them out, and I think their sound as a whole could have just used a little bit more of a push forward. I don't know if they were afraid because it's their debut, they want to play it safe in some ways, and they don't really want to fully unleash themselves, but with tracks like Concrete, Dial Tones, Drowning Deep in Doubt, I feel like this band is going to come into their own more and more. I like what they have going in some aspects. I think that they have an almost likable persona that they're trying to put out there, but they're staying in very formulaic territory. For me, this album is not something that I'm going to be coming back to, I don't think, minus the 3 favorites that I just listed to you guys. Let me know what you're thinking about this album in the comments section. Did want to get a review out there. Keep in mind, this is just my opinion. Let me know about yours in the comments section. Don't forget to hit the like button while you're down there. This album is a 2.5 out of 5 for me. I hope you guys enjoyed this review. A lot of you guys had requested for me to do this one, so make sure to hit the like button like I mentioned and subscribe to the channel, because friends don't let friends go unsubscribed. If there are other albums you want to see me tackle, let me know about them in the comments section, and I will see you guys very soon right here on ARTV.